Good afternoon. This is the Advanced Comparative Constitutional Advocate Kulresh King. Today is the 3rd of the October and I would be addressing today the war crimes and the evaluation of the monetary expenses, incomes through bilateral or multilateral sources of incomes as to weaponizing and to mobilizing the weapons against the territories of the globe. That what are the factors which are leading the Iranians and the Middle East wars? This would be considered as the World War III as per the International Treaty on the Humanitarian Laws in the globe. This is the primary subject of mine which led me into consideration that after observing the missile attack on the Israel, it is pertinent to mention that the Iran has attacked or had attacked over the territories of the Israel and regarding 200 missiles over their territory, and now the Lebanon and other Middle East countries are being into the multi-dimensional disorders, and you can observe that flexible challenges of the human loss in that territory. So we are observing confronting battles in the Middle East countries, especially in those countries, especially Israel conflict between the Middle East and the territories. Now it is a settled principle of law that if any state which overrides the humanitarian laws against the human's ferocity, thereafter such territory or the groups of the territories would be demolished from the world. But in fact, what would we are observing that the United States of America, this is not an allegation against America as per my intellectual understanding against after observing the laws of the international weaponizing states. The international weaponizing states always have the capital interest in share value of the weaponizing their states regarding their revenue generation of the weapons, and they have invested the 90% of the revenue over their weaponizing the state. But this is not the fact that they are weaponizing their state in regardless of what? To eliminate the elements of the humanity from the world, and this would be amounted as a gross negligence against the human laws, especially under the humanitarian laws in the globe. So I'm a well speaker regarding the advisory jurisdiction of the human laws in the globe. So the well settled humans are not willing, well reformed for their psychological development or construction of their own marital ceremonials and the living standards, and thereafter a lot of the groups of the humans, they are wasting fighting for the bread and butter in their territories for acquisition of the world life. So basically the humans are fighting for the bread and butter, but the only counterpart, the United States and its allies, the United Arab Emirates and other reciprocating countries, the European Western countries, they are manipulating the states of the Middle East by providing them ammunitions, drugs, and the reciprocating missiles for the development of their own country. The United States has been been alleging an offense which is called that the construction of the revenue of the United States by providing the drugs, ammunition, and medicines, advanced medicines, which could be termed as the fake medicine against the humans, and with the weapons, with other raw material to the other countries. They are providing the futile things to the Middle East while utilizing, eliminating the humans. They are basically developing, they are misguiding the Middle East. They are constructing the thoughts that the Middle East countries should fight with each other in order to develop their own kingdomship in the name of the religions. They have developed the religious monarchies into the territorial jurisdiction of the Middle East, and whole of the Middle East individuals are fighting in the name of war against terror since the year 2000 up till now, year 2024, and they don't have a point of living properly, and they don't have the prerogative rights of the humanitarian laws in Pakistan, India, Malaysia, Singapore, and the other reciprocating countries, Kazakhstan. So the multilateral or the bilateral treaty among these institutions or state institutions as to weaponizing the state is an apparent mistake of the war against terror. This would not be tolerated that any state or any country could develop the war against terror and eliminate on the religious means to the other territory. The human laws are there. One should be very cautious as to observe that what is the problem of that individual who was born in such state which is conflicted into the war terrorism and the ultra wires of the state laws in that country, which provides nothing to such individual, and such individual is fighting for his bread and butter as to live properly in such states. Likewise, the Israel, like Palestine, like Iran, Iraq, Arab Emirates, United Arab Emirates. So the monopolies come from the United Arab Emirates and from the US and the European Union Council and the other reciprocating international bilateral, multilateral treaties countries. Such countries want to eliminate the Muslims through providing them missiles, drugs, ammunitions, and other raw material which could be destructive in nature as to eliminate the factors of the humans in the globe. And that is the sole ground which led the whole of the Middle East countries into the multilateral conflict of interest regarding the economical resolutions. So they are basically, I'm talking about the US countries and the United UNO. They are basically constructing their own development of construction as to eliminate the elements of the proper reconciled construction or development in the Middle East countries. The British, the Americans do not like that the Middle East countries would have their own economical zones, and they are always shifting the whole destruction into humanity through the political anarchy in the Middle East. They always hijack the Middle East individuals, Muslims, in the name of the religions, and such humans always sell the religions in such territories, which territories have the pretext of their religion. And in the meanwhile, the whole of the state individuals become immoral, characterless, and such individuals do not have the point of living in a perfect medium of understanding the laws. And these problems occur in whole of the territories of the globe because of not observing the human basic laws. I always raise a landmark judicial question that if there is no question of humanity at the first instance, thereafter the secondary would not be the religious one, and the third one would be the weaponizing the states. And when you are weaponizing the states, thereafter everyone want to raise the standard of the weapons. So whole of the Middle East countries always buy the weapons through the other reciprocating US countries, Germany, other huge European councils as to evaluate the standards of their weapons so that they can defend the country, but they do not have a point as to understand the human laws. Why the humans are dying in the public street without having the bread and butter? Why the public is yelling in the public street as to ascertain a proper way of earning and development of their construction of families? Why the humans are being divorced? Why the humans are being manipulated in the official jobs and the other extraterrestrial means in the sky? And so many scientific disorders are also being observed. One country could develop its drugs, ammunition, and other raw material as to the development of the country's physical approach, but despite of that, all of the humans of the globe are trying to defend the administrative organs as to investing the capital interest of such country into the multilateral treaty of the weaponizing states. These elements could not be tolerated at the behest of the UNO, the US states, the Union Council of the America, Canada, Germany. These countries are basically destroying the humanity in the Middle East as to constructively destroy the career of the humans which are born in front of you. So stay blessed. This is the most competitive constitutional advocate, Grace King.